What happens when two powerhouse vocalists sit down for what should be a simple interview instead? Years of unspoken tension explode into one of daytime television's most uncomfortable moments. Before we dive into this chaos, hit subscribe and drop a comment back us after hearing this. You're going to have a side. Kelly Clarkson's show is usually this safe, feel-good zone. Singing, laughter, happy tears, the whole package. Ledisi comes on to promote her new album. At first, everything seems normal. Kelly's warm welcome, audience clapping, Ledisi smiling. But look closer, and there's something in Ledisi's eyes. Tight, waiting, something unsaid. Kelly starts light. New music, creative process, compliments on her voice standard, easy. Ledisi is poised, professional. Then Kelly leans in with that trademark enthusiasm. You know, she says, your voice has this incredible jazz quality. It reminds me of the classic singers who were born in the wrong era. Ledisi's smile falters. She nods, slowly. Well, I appreciate that, but I'm very much a singer of this era. What you're hearing is technique, training, soul. It's about being serious about the craft, not about living in another time. A beat of silence. Kelly laughs, a little forced. Oh, totally. I just meant you have that timeless quality. LedisiShifts.com, but firm. Timeless is different from saying, I belong in another era. Kelly, I innovate. I don't just recreate the past. The audience smiles, unaware this isn't playful banter. Kelly tries to pivot, asking about Ledisi's Grammy history. But now, Kelly touches on the moment everyone in the industry has tiptoed around. You've had so many nominations. Kelly begins, and I know how it feels not to win, but you've handled it with grace. I remember when Selma came out, the soundtrack. Ledisi's face tightens imperceptibly. You mean when I recorded the songs for the film and didn't get to perform them? Kelly nods, trying to keep it light. Yeah, but Beyoncé's Grammy performance amazing, right? Bittersweet hand. There it is. The elephant in the room. Ledisi recorded the songs for Selma. Beyoncé performed them at the Grammys, creating an iconic moment, and Ledisi had to watch, smile, and be gracious. Ledisi leans in, her voice quieter but sharper. That taught me a lot about this industry, about how your contributions can be overlooked when someone bigger is available. Was Beyoncé's performance beautiful? Absolutely. Talented, of course. But if the roles were reversed, do you think the conversation would be the same? Kelly stammers, caught off guard. People were just excited to see such a big artist tackle important material. Ledisi leans further. Important material that I recorded, that I poured my heart and toned, didn't even get a thank you. Just being told to be grateful for the exposure, as if I'm some newcomer. The audience falls silent. This isn't fun anymore. Kelly tries to redirect. I hear you. Recognition is important. You are so talented, Ledisi. Everyone knows that. But Ledisi presses on. When we talk about the greatest vocalists, my name pops up in some circles, but never in mainstream conversations. I've been doing this for over 2 decades. 14 Grammy nominations. Ask someone on the street to name a Ledisi song. They can't. Why is that? Kelly looks trapped. The music industry. It's complicated. Marketing, timing, label pushes. Ledisi cuts in, measured, right? And genre. I get put in jazz, R&B, soul. But where does that leave me? The room is tense. The audience is quiet. What started as a cheerful interview has become an unflinching confrontation about recognition, respect, and legacy. But when I try to cross over, Ledisi begins. Her voice steady, but edged with fire. When I try to do what you do, what other artists do, suddenly, I'm too niche. To this, to that. But we both know what that really means. Kelly shifts, uncomfortable. I don't think I follow. You follow perfectly. Ledisi says, when a black woman has a powerful voice, range soul gets boxed in. She's called inspirational, compared to legends, praised for technique, but she doesn't get the same opportunities. Not the pop crossover, not mainstream acceptance, unless she fits a very specific mold. Kelly tries to soften it. I mean, there are plenty of successful black women in pop music. I think that's changing. Ledisi laughs, but there's no humor in it. Plenty, Kelly. Name them. And tell me how many had to completely change their sound, their image, their entire presentation to get there. How many of them my age are still getting those opportunities? This industry loves a young black woman they can mold, but a black woman in her 40s, who's been singing her whole life, who knows her worth, who won't compromise, that woman gets patted on the head and told she's inspirational. The tension in the room thickens. Kelly struggles to maintain composure. I think you're incredibly successful though. Loyal fan base, sold out tours, you make the music you want. Ledisi cuts her off. Successful, on whose terms? I make a fraction of what artists with half my talent make. I can't get a song on mainstream radio to save my life. And when I point that out, I'm told I'm bitter. I should be grateful. Grateful for what? For being talented and still invisible. Kelly exhales, trying to navigate the storm. Known for her empathy, this is different. Raw. I hear your frustration, she says. I really do. Conversations about representation and opportunity are important. Ledisi shakes her head. That's just it. Kelly, you hear my frustration like it's emotion, like it's feelings. This isn't frustration. This is fact. Data. My lived experience, and The lived experience of countless artists who look like me. Every time we bring it up, it's twisted into us being emotional, difficult, instead of examining the system. Kelly looks directly at her. Okay, so, what would you want me to say? The right response. Ledisi pauses, holding Kelly's gaze. Acknowledge it. Don't just hear it, say it. Yes, there is a different standard. Yes, black women in this industry work twice as hard for half the recognition. Say the Selma situation was wrong, and I had every right to feel some kind of way about it. Don't give me the diplomatic answer, give me the honest one. The audience is silent. Kelly looks torn, weighing her words. Finally, she speaks. There are absolutely inequalities in the industry. Representation matters. Your talent deserves more recognition than it gets. Ledisi waits. Kelly hesitates. But I also think success looks different for everyone. Kelly continues. Artists sometimes have expectations that don't match reality, not necessarily because of discrimination, but because this industry is brutal for everyone. Ledisi leans back, eyes narrowing. So, you think my lack of mainstream success is because my expectations are too high? Not because of systemic issues, but because I'm just not as marketable as I think I am. Kelly realizes she stepped into it. That's not. Ledisi's voice sharpens. That's exactly what you said. You just dressed it up nice. You're telling me maybe I'm not where I think I should be because that's just how it is, not because the game is rigged. Kelly, you won American Idol. You got a platform most singers spend their entire lives trying to build. Instant name recognition, instant access, instant opportunity. And yes, you're talented. I'm not taking that away from you, Ledisi says, her voice steady but sharp. But do not sit here and tell me my career trajectory is about expectation. You've never had to fight for visibility the way I have. Kelly flushes, defensiveness creeping in. I've had my own struggles, Ledisi. The music industry hasn't been easy for me either. I've had to fight my label, prove myself over and over. Ledisi laughs. But it's not kind. Fighting your label isn't the same as being invisible. Kelly, you fought from a position of already being famous. I'm fighting just to be seen at all. There's a difference. Kelly's tone hardens. I understand there's a difference. But it's not fair to minimize what I've been through just because I came from a reality show. I've earned my place. Ledisi nods slowly, her eyes steady. And so have I. That's my point. I've earned my place 10 times over, but I still don't have it. And instead of acknowledging that, you're sitting here defending yourself like I attacked you personally. This isn't about you, Kelly. It's about a system we're both part of, but one that treats us very differently. Kelly straightens, trying to regain control. I think I've been fair in this conversation. I've listened. I've validated that word. Validated my feelings. Ledisi's eyes narrow, cutting through the air. Kelly, these aren't feelings. This is my career. My life's work. Over 20 years of being told I'm incredible while being passed over. Don't reduce that to feelings. Kelly falters, flustered. Didn't mean it like that. I'm just saying, I've been trying to have a respectful conversation here. Ledisi shifts in her seat, leaning forward just enough to make the tension palpable. Not fully standing, but preparing to. Respectful. You brought up the Selma situation, knowing it's a sore spot. You compared me to singers of the past. Like I'm some nostalgia act. You told me my expectations might be the problem. The room is silent, every eye on them, every word hanging heavy in the air. That's not respectful, Kelly, Ledisi says, her voice sharp. That's dismissive. The producers are probably losing their minds. This is live television. There's no cutting this out. Kelly exhales, trying to regain control. Ledisi, I think we're misunderstanding each other. I have nothing but respect for you, your artistry. I think you're incredible. I've said it multiple times. Ledisi sits back, but only on the edge of her seat, ready to lean forward again. You think I'm incredible, but when I tell you about the very real barriers I face, you can't fully back me up. You give me the industry line, the safe answer. That's the problem. Everyone wants to compliment black women artists. Everyone wants to say how amazing we are. But when it comes time to actually advocate for us, to acknowledge the unfairness, suddenly, it's complicated. Suddenly, it's about market forces, expectations, all these convenient excuses to ignore discrimination. Kelly glances at the audience, maybe seeking some relief. They're just watching. I don't think it's as black and white as you're making it seem. Black and white. Ledisi's eyes snap. Interesting choice of words. Kelly's eyes widen. That's not I didn't mean it like that. It's just an expression. Ledisi raises a hand. Calm, but lethal. I know what you meant. But isn't it funny how that expression fits here? Because that's exactly what this is. Black and white. There are black women with exceptional talent who don't get the same opportunities as white women comparable talent, or even less. That's not divisive. That's honest. Kelly's voice tightens. I think that's a really broad generalization. Ledisi leans forward. Is it? Let me ask you, how many black women over 40 do you see dominating pop radio right now? Vegas residencies, Super Bowl halftime shows, major brand deals. And before you mention Beyoncé, she's the exception, not the rule. One woman at the top doesn't erase the hundreds of us struggling for scraps. Kelly shifts uncomfortably. I think there are opportunities for everyone if they work hard enough. Ledisi stands fully now, the tension in her posture undeniable. If they work hard enough, Kelly, I've worked my entire life, perfected my craft, studied, sacrificed, done everything right, and I'm still here, explaining why I deserve better. Meanwhile, there are artists who can barely sing, making more than I ever will because they fit the image, because they're marketable, palatable, and you're telling me it's about hard work. Kelly rises, trying to de-escalate. Ledisi, please, I don't want this to turn into something it doesn't need to be. Ledisi's voice shakes not with anger, but exhaustion. It already is something. This is what happens when you try to have real conversations about race and opportunity in this industry. People get uncomfortable. They backtrack, make it about individual circumstances instead of systemic problems. I came here to talk about my album. But you wanted Selma. Grammys, all the painful stuff, but you didn't want to actually sit in it with me. You wanted me to make you feel better. Kelly's voice cracks. That's not true. I'm trying to understand your perspective. Ledisi grabs her purse. No, you're trying to debate my perspective. There's a difference. Understanding means accepting what I'm telling you without all the buts and how. I told you my truth, and you couldn't let it stand. Kelly's panic is visible. Ledisi, please don't leave. Let's talk this through. I want to understand better. I really do. Ledisi pauses, purse in hand. For a moment, it looks like she might sit. Then her voice drops, calm but cutting. Kelly, do you know what's exhausting? Having to explain your own oppression to people who benefit from the system that oppresses you. Making it palatable, managing their feelings while discussing your pain. I've spent my whole career doing that, smiling, being gracious, being the bigger person. And where has it gotten me? Still fighting for respect, still explaining why I deserve a seat at the table. I've already earned it, Ledisi says, her voice steady. Kelly softens, voice quieter now. I get that. I do. And I'm sorry if I made you feel like you had to do that here. Ledisi tilts her head. You're sorry if I felt that way, not sorry for making me feel that way. Even your apology has an escape hatch built in. That's the thing about these conversations. There's always plausible deniability. I didn't mean it like that. You misunderstood. I'm sorry you feel that way. Never. I was wrong. I see it now. Let me do better. The audience is frozen. Some look uncomfortable. Others are processing every word. Everyone is locked in. Kelly takes a step closer. You're right. I'm sorry. Not sorry if, just sorry. I should have listened better. Acknowledged what you were saying without trying to fix it or explain it away. Ledisi studies her face. That's a start, but here's what you need to understand. This isn't just about today. Not just this conversation. It's every interview where I'm told to be grateful instead of ambitious. Every article calling me a hidden gem, like being overlooked as charming instead of unjust. Every time I'm told I have a voice for jazz clubs, when what that really means is I'm too black for pop radio. And when I finally speak up, suddenly, I'm the angry one. I'm the difficult one. I'm the problem rather than the person pointing out the problem. Kelly nods, genuinely emotional. I can't fully understand. I won't pretend I can, but I hear you, and I think what you're saying is important. Ledisi's shoulders drop slightly. Important enough to air this conversation, or are your producers already figuring out how to cut around it? Because that's what usually happens. Black women speak up, Pit gets edited, or disappears, and we're back where we started. Kelly looks toward the crew, then back at Ledisi. I can't make that call in the moment, but people need to hear this, even if it makes me look bad, even if it's uncomfortable. Ledisi exhales slowly. See? That's the thing. This shouldn't make you look bad. The fact that you think it might shows how much work we still have to do. You're not the villain. Kelly, you're part of a system that doesn't even realize it's a system. You've probably never had to think about why you got opportunities and others didn't. Not because you're bad, but because you didn't have to. That's privilege. And pointing it out doesn't make me bitter. It makes me aware. Kelly's voice is barely a whisper. So, what do I do? What should I have done differently? Ledisi sets her purse down. Still standing. You listen without defending. Acknowledge without explaining. When someone shares their pain, don't immediately jump to reasons it might not be as bad as they think. Just say, I see you. I hear you. That sounds really hard. And if you can't fix it, at least don't minimize it. Kelly wipes at her eyes. I can do that. I want to do that. Ledisi's expression softens slightly. I believe you want to. But wanting and doing are different. Doing it means risking your comfort, calling out the industry you benefit from, potentially losing opportunities for speaking up for someone else. That's scary. I get it. But that's what being an ally actually requires. Kelly nods slowly. You're right. I haven't done that enough. I've stayed safe. Ledisi picks up her purse. Most people do. It's easier, but easy doesn't change anything. I'm tired of easy. Tired of performative support. Tired of being everyone's favorite underrated artist when all I want is to be rated. Not over. Just seen for what I am. Kelly reaches out as if to touch her arm but stops. For what it's worth, I do see you. Maybe not in all the ways I should have, but I do now. Ledisi holds her gaze. I appreciate that. I really do. But seeing me now, after all this fight to make you see me, that's not the same as seeing me all along. That's reacting to being called out. Ledisi says, voice firm, not proactively standing up. Until more people in positions like yours start doing the latter, nothing changes for people in positions like mine. Kelly's voice breaks slightly. I want to be better. Lacey's expression is a mix of sadness and quiet resignation. Then be better. Not just with me, not just in this conversation, but everywhere. When you book your show, think about who isn't getting booked and why. When you collaborate, think about who isn't being called. When you see another black woman artist overlooked, speak up. Use your platform, because Kelly, you have a platform. You have power in this industry. With that comes responsibility. Kelly straightens, voice earnest. You're absolutely right. I commit to doing that. I commit to being more aware, more vocal, more intentional. Ledisi almost smiles, but it's fleeting. I hope you mean it. I really do. Because the industry needs people like you to mean it. We can't dismantle these systems alone. We need allies who benefit from them to help take them apart. Otherwise, we're just shouting into the void, while everyone else enjoys the concert. A beat of silence. Kelly looks like she wants to ask her to stay, to keep talking, but she can see Ledisi is done. Not done being professional. Not done with her career. Done with this moment, explaining, educating, exhausting herself. Kelly's voice is small. I'm sorry this interview went this way. I'm sorry I wasn't better prepared to have this conversation the way it deserved. Ledisi adjusts her purse on her shoulder. Don't be sorry it went this way. Be glad it did. Now you know. Now your audience knows. Now everyone has had to sit with what it actually means to be a black woman artist in an industry that loves our voices but not our personhood. That's not a bad thing, it's necessary. Kelly nods. Thank you for being honest with me. For being real, even when it was hard. Ledisi turns toward the exit, pauses, then looks back one last time. Kelly, can I tell you something?